Hey there, Slayers. It's me, Kyle, but I go by Roboslicer in the Dauntless community. I hope you guys are having a great day, and this week we're going to be doing another Sub 3 video. This week's trials we have Pangar. Pangar, in my opinion, is probably one of the harder behemoths to Sub 3 because his modifiers just make him a lot harder to get through. His modifiers are going to basically be the only thing you have to worry about. But this week I will make another video on how to get onto the board if you guys want me to. But for now, let's just focus on this Sub 3. So let's go ahead, get into it, and let's look at his modifiers. So these are the modifiers for this week. Pangar has a lot more modifiers than most behemoths get, and that's what I think makes him the harder behemoth in trials to defeat, but it's not impossible to get the Sub 3. So let me explain. So of course we have one chance, meaning we have no revives. We have Cursed Lightning, so those clouds that you see when you're facing against Stormclaw that periodically come up will be following you around, and sometimes they will strike 3 times and you have to try and dodge them. He's got Electrify, so physical attacks deal shock, and Deep Freeze, meaning that your stamina costs more to actually use, and of course you get chill. Chill damage does more. And then the last modifier is Thick Skull, so that means it's harder to stagger him. Not impossible, but I wouldn't recommend trying to actually get into that. So let's go into the build and see what we're going to be using. So this is this build for this week's trials. Now it looks weird because there's no discipline and you're running tough, but trust me, I tested it out and it actually works. But let's go ahead and look at some of the perks that you're going to be using in this build. First, you're going to have +6 Catalyst to get the 60% increased effectiveness and duration. Iceborne because we're bad at dodging, and this week because it's a Frost Behemoth, it's actually viable to use. And then we also will be using +6 Overpower because you're going to stagger him and boop him a lot, so try and get that to proc up as much as possible. And then we're going to be using Rage, of course, and you're going to be taking damage, so you'll get there at some point to get the 25% increased damage. You're going to be using Sharpen so you can break his parts faster and get Overpower to proc off, so it'll be pretty useful here. Next, you're going to be using +3 Berserk, of course, which gives you a little bit more damage because you're going to need it. Trust me, you're going to need it. And then, of course, you're going to be having Tough just because you want to be able to take the damage without going down. So the consumables this week are going to be the Blitz Tonic, and of course we're going to be using Frenzy because we need more attack damage, and Stamina because that Deep Freeze makes us use up stamina pretty fast, and you're going to just need it for any time you see Deep Freeze as a modifier in trials. I'm going to be using Drask Eye because I feel this is the most official. You can definitely use the Embermane's Rapture, but I went with the Drask Eye, and you're going to put +3 Catalyst into there, of course. You're going to use the Boreal March and put +3 Berserk into the legs. You're going to use the Boreal's Might and +3 Sharpen. You're going to use the Gnasher's Cloak and put +3 Iceborne into there. And the Dark Watch and put +3 Overpower. And then you're going to be using the Scorch Agonies and put +3 Sharpen and +3 Catalyst into there. For the specials, you're going to be using the Reaper's Dance, the mod is going to be Momentum Blades, and the bond is going to be the Inferno Fangs. So let's go ahead and get into the strats. So now let's go over the strat times for this week. The drop times is going to basically be instant. You don't have to worry about him running around or moving around because he stays at one location to the right as soon as you drop in. But the difference is you're not going to go towards him once you get in. You're going to wait for him to do his roll because he's going to move towards you and he's going to try and roll, which is the boopable move. You're going to boop him and that's going to proc off Overpower, so just focus on beating him down as much as you can. You're going to want to also use Reaper's Dance to get away from those clouds. That's why you're using Momentum Blades. You can dodge around if you so wish because you are using the tonic that lets you get your stamina back, but I would recommend using the Reaper's Dance. Next, you're also going to want to focus on hitting his left leg. That one is the one that's usually not against the wall and the most exposed, and it has the weakest hitbox, so definitely try and go for that to break the part. Next, you're going to also want to focus on not getting hit until he's at half health. If he's at a quarter health, that's also fine, but once he's at half health for sure, take the hit from when he slams his leg down so that Rage will proc off and so will Iceborne. You don't have to worry so much about dodging because Iceborne will protect you, for you'll take less damage and gain life back. But easily enough, again, focus on his left leg. That left leg, it has the weakest hitbox, and if you break it, Overpower proc off. The biggest thing that you're going to be using is Overpower throughout this entire trial. Focus on the part breaks and the boots. Well guys, that is the strats, the build, and the modifiers for this week's trials. I hope you guys have a great week. I trust that every one of you will be able to sub 3 if you use this build and this guide like I said. I hope you guys have a great week. Happy hunting, Slayers, and Merry Christmas.